Solana won't make you a millionaire. In fact, it could actually wreck your entire crypto portfolio. Let me explain. I've been closely following Solana since 2020, and now I see people happily buying into it. But they don't even realize that Solana has 3 time bombs that can completely screw this coin. And in this video, I'd like to tell you about these 3 critical threats to Solana and what you can do about it if you plan to invest in Solana or are already a proud Solana holder. I would also like to raise the question of whether Solana is a good investment, when is the best time to buy Solana, and how you can profit on Solana without going all in. Solana fans might cancel me, but after watching this video, you will know all the pros and cons of Solana and you'll be able to decide for yourself whether it's worth buying this crypto or not. So, let's get started. This video is not investment advice. Okay, before we dive into it, let's do a quick recap of what Solana really is. Solana is a layer 1 blockchain founded in 2017 with the idea of becoming a decentralized competitor to centralized exchanges like the New York Stock Exchange or Nasdaq. Solana uses proof-of-stake technology and rewards users with a 7% yield for their participation in the staking process. Solana has its own coin, SOL, used for staking and paying transaction fees. SOL is an inflationary coin with the current inflation rate around 6%, but by 2030, this rate will be reduced to just 1.5%. Solana has raised about $300 million from major VC funds, including A16Z, Polychain Capital, Multicoin Capital, FTX and Alameda Research. The blockchain itself was launched in 2020 with an initial supply of 500 million coins, allocated to early investors, the team, foundation, and community reserve. You can see the exact coin allocation on this chart, and we will get back to it later. As the project evolved, Solana adopted other popular use cases, including decentralized finance, non-fungible tokens, and crypto payments. Today, we can certainly label Solana as a leader in the number of minted NFTs and the volume of DeFi activity, especially back in 2021. Additionally, Solana can be called a leader in terms of performance. The blockchain in theory can process up to 700,000 transactions per second, and here's a comparison with the performance of other blockchains. But the actual load of the blockchain is about 3000 TPS. So, Solana's focus on performance is what sets it apart from competitors such as Ethereum, which in fact has to use layer 2 blockchains to process a similar number of transactions that Solana does. Such high processing power makes Solana a very interesting project for partnerships with institutional investors and non-crypto companies. This is something that not every blockchain can be proud of, so pay close attention to these 3 key points. Solana has partnered with Shopify, offering sellers and buyers the ability to transact in USDC. This provides sellers with quicker and easier access to their funds, opening up endless possibilities for cross-border payments. This partnership not only increases the demand for Solana's blockchain, but also demonstrates that Solana is a legitimate project with real-world use cases. But that's not all. Visa is already actively processing payments in USDC on the Solana blockchain for its clients. They say they choose Solana precisely because this blockchain is one of the most high-performance, fast, with an absolutely minimal transaction costs. With all that said, Solana is one of the official blockchains for USDC. And recently, Circle announced one of the first launches of EURC, a stablecoin in euros, specifically on the Solana blockchain. And everything would be fine if not for 3 critical threats that could completely wreck the price of Solana. So let's talk about it. Cause what if I told you there is about $4 billion in Solana right now ready to be sold? Watch my hands. Back in 2020, the Solana Foundation raised about $300 million from very well-known investors, including FTX and Alameda Research. According to official stats, FTX and Alameda together own more than 57 million coins, and this figure is constantly growing as these coins have been staked all this time. With FTX and Alameda going bankrupt, Solana sharply dropped in price, reaching a low of $9. This happened because everyone was very scared of what was going on and afraid that FTX would dump all their assets into the market. Now the FTX and Alameda lawsuit has been settled, and we all know that Sam Bankman-Fried has been found guilty of committing fraud. Justice has been served, but somehow everyone forgot that there are still 57 million coins and the company going through the bankruptcy process. At the same time, we get news that FTX plans to compensate users for their losses and, as rumors say, using prices at the time of the bankruptcy filing. That's $12 or even $9 for Solana, for example. And at this very moment, we witness an unbelievable rally of Solana that simply has no explanation. Coincidence? Sure, all Alameda research coins have a vesting period and are only partially unlocked every month until 2028, but even locked coins can be sold via OTC transaction, and one way or another they will eventually be dumped into the market. That's why I believe buying Solana is very risky while the situation with these coins is in limbo, because if Solana reaches an all-time high again, the FTX and Alameda coins will be worth around $10 billion, and for comparison, that's roughly how much they owe all their customers now. Personally, it looks like too much risk for too little profit to me, but this isn't the end of the story. There are lawsuits against Kraken, Binance, Coinbase, where the SEC is labeling Solana as an unregistered security. This might not seem like a big deal at first glance, but already Robinhood, Revolut, and some other exchanges have delisted Solana because they don't want to deal with the consequences of trading an unregistered security and don't want trouble with the SEC. But what does this mean for the future of Solana? If the SEC officially recognizes Solana as an unregistered security coin, this might lead to the delisting of Solana from all US exchanges. This would result in less demand for Solana, no more buying through the exchange, no more rapid project progress, and no more pumps, nada. Even just having Solana mentioned in lawsuits against other exchanges is already discouraging developers, institutional investors, or big companies from building on top of Solana or investing more in Solana, because it's seen as too much of a risk and nobody wants to tangle with the SEC. And I'll remind you that Solana's main focus was in the legal part of finance, aiming to become a competitor of Nasdaq, facilitating the trading of stocks and bonds, or at least clearing crypto payments, as in the case of Shopify. But SEC attacks make this goal unrealistic at the moment. And don't get me wrong, most likely the Solana Foundation will manage to resolve the situation, perhaps they'll win similar to Ripple's case, or they might have to pay some fines. And I don't know about you, but if a company has a chance to be heavily fined by the SEC, how would that affect the company's stock price, or the price of the coin in our case? I'm saying that because most likely when the fear of an SEC loss will be at its peak, it could be the best time to buy Solana, but not now. At the same time, there are still a bunch of crypto coins on the market that can potentially do 100x and at the very least have not fallen under regulatory scrutiny. If this sounds like something interesting, subscribe to the channel so I can understand I need to make a separate video about best crypto coins with huge potential. And now the final boss. The US government is in no rush to regulate crypto, stablecoins or crypto ETFs. And of course, outdated regulations are impacting Solana's pursuit of use cases like payments and competition with the centralized exchanges. Solana is essentially waiting for full stablecoin regulation to double down on crypto payments now. But there is a strong consensus that nothing will change until 2025. Presumably, a significant overhaul of crypto regulation is expected around 2025 due to the upcoming US presidential elections and changes in the presidential administration. Here's what the lawyer who won the Ripple case against the SEC is saying. Full approval of cryptocurrency bill, including the stablecoin bill, is possible by 2025 if a stable government is elected. This factor holds Solana back from mass adoption and huge to the moon moment. And now to the main question. Is Solana a good investment? Solana is an excellent, fast, cheap blockchain with a huge community of developers. I've even been to a few Solana offline events and I love them. Hopefully they'll let me in again after this video. But considering the current price and market cap of Solana, and spoiler alert, it's huge, as well as regulatory risks and token sell-off risks, I don't believe in new all-time highs until all three critical issues from this video are resolved. And I would wait to buy until a price correction comes, and at a price of 40 or even 30 bucks would consider the opportunity to buy. But at the same time, I see a huge opportunity for making money on airdrops from Solana-based projects. It's a huge upcoming trend that everyone will be talking about in the next 4 to 8 months. And I think it's worth it to buy as small as 1 Solana and start looking for new tokens and DeFi services. There are little activities in these projects like minting an NFT or making a transaction, with the expectation of getting a huge airdrop in the future. This is what I plan on doing, and if I'll find such projects, I'll definitely make a separate video. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it. In the meantime, how confident are you about keeping your crypto safe? Because I found the safest wallet for beginners that is simply impossible to lose access to. If you are already preparing to take profits from your crypto, I highly recommend watching this video. So your crypto gains will stay safe and sound, even if you forget all your crypto passwords.